I'm here with Eliot Clough from Townsquare Media. You cover UNI, so can you talk to me a little bit about the difference between last weekend's game and today's game between UNI and Loyola?
Yeah, so when you look at the box score, big thing that was the difference was there was only 6 fouls called in the first half today. There were 14 in the first half last week. Obviously, a bunch of differences in free throw attempts. That was crazy. AJ Green, 4 of 20 from the field. Didn't quite go the way UNI wanted for his ability to score the basketball. So officiating was a big part of it. Obviously, here in the Enterprise Center, it's a little bit different with shooting, so significantly lower score. And there was just a competitive edge that Loyola had today that just wasn't there for UNI.
Right, so you guys were off to a little bit of a tough start to the season in non-conference play. Can you talk about how they kind of flipped the script around for conference play this year?
Yeah, so Coach Jake will tell you the big difference was that UNI had to get healthy. UNI, they had injuries all up and down the roster, specifically Bowen Bourne. He broke his hand, and then he had shin splints. There was a stomach bug going around the team, non-COVID related when they went to Hawaii. So a lot of it was just about getting healthy. The other thing was figuring out AJ and Bowen on the floor at the same time, because those are both guys who want the ball in their hands. They're both guys who can score the basketball. So I would say those three things are the big issue for UNI early on. Ultimately got it figured out, just didn't work for him today.
Right, and something that has been in a lot of discussion in college basketball has been the idea of having to re-recruit players, making sure that players return the next year and they don't enter the transfer portal. What do you think the likelihood is that a lot of the starters will be returning next season?
I think it's very high. When you're at a program like UNI, guys don't transfer out of UNI. It just rarely happens. Of course, Noah Carter entered the transfer portal last year. There's been a bunch of rumors about AJ Green leaving the program. There's no substance to that. I can tell you that for sure right now. The only issue of guys leaving early would be Austin Fife and his health and AJ going to the NBA. Obviously, Trey and Taiwan are graduating, but I don't see any of these guys leaving the program. There's just a lot of loyalty with these young men, and Coach Jake, he does an incredible job with this program.
Right, and so with UNI grabbing that number 1 seed, a postseason isn't out of the cards for the team. Do you think that they'll kind of go with that?
Yeah, obviously they got to go to the NIT. Probably not going to get a home game. We'll see what happens, largely because of the fact that they are a mid-major school. But I've never seen UNI in an NIT. They've only done it one time, as far as I know, in 2012. But we'll see what happens. Of course, anything can happen when you have a scorer like AJ Green and a coach who's as seasoned as Coach Jake is.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Eliot, and good luck covering the NIT.